Mahomes retreats quickly, fires a pass, caught by Kelsey near sideline at the 45 of the Buccaneers. Now he's backing up. Now he goes forward and gets to the Buccaneer 46.
That was part of a nice game for Travis Kelce against the Buccaneers back in 2020. Hopefully, we see a similar connection between Patrick Mahomes and Kelce this week as the Chiefs look to get back in the win column. Hey everyone, and welcome into our game preview this week presented by Crown Royal. My name is Matt McMullen, and this week we're joined by one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, a Pro Football Hall of Famer, and now an awesome analyst on NFL Network. It's Kurt Warner. Kurt, how's it going, man?
It is going really, really well. Been a fun, crazy start to the season, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. It's, of course, the sixth time that Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady have faced off against one another. And this is two teams, Kurt, coming off of a tough loss. Buccaneers lost to the Packers last week in a tough game, and the Chiefs, of course, lost to the Colts last week in a game that they felt like they probably should have won. A lot of mistakes contributed to that loss. I want to start with the Chiefs' offense here first because really struggled to get in a rhythm, I think, against the Colts last week. And it's a tough challenge this week against the Buccaneers defense. It's the number one scoring defense in the NFL. What makes this Bucs defense so good, and how can the Chiefs find success against them on Sunday night?
Well, what makes them so good is that they do a lot of different things, a lot of things that aren't necessarily, things that you're going to see on a weekly basis. And the structure of their defense at times, you see them do something and you go, okay, they can't do this on the back end if they're doing this on the front end. And they're very creative with that part of it. They have great blitz packages, so they're going to bring pressure, and you've got to be able to have answers to the pressure. And then they have good players, starting with those two linebackers that can fly around and make plays. And so you really have to understand what you're seeing and take advantage of the weaknesses that play out. But it's just not as easy as, watching film. Oh, they're playing a cover 3 zone. This is how I'm going to attack them. You're going to see lots of variations throughout the game along with those great players that fly around. And that's what makes it really, really tough to beat them. And so it's always good if you can run the football to force them out of some of that stuff. And then you have to be ready to, play a little bit off schedule or, be ready to play after the snap as much as you're playing before the snap.
Sure. The good news is no quarterback is better at playing off schedule than Patrick Mahomes. And the run game for the Chiefs really wasn't working too much last week against the Colts, but we've seen it at times work this year. 2 weeks ago against the Chargers, Clyde Edwards-Helaire averaged more than 9 yards per carry. And if you look at Aaron Rodgers last week against this Bucs defense, got the ball out super quick, kind of negates that pass rush. So we'll see what Coach Reid and Patrick Mahomes have in store offensively against the Bucs on Sunday night, but hopefully they can move the football and get back on track. Now, the Chiefs defense has also been really good this season. Hasn't gotten a ton of attention, but they're off to a great start this year. They were really good against the Colts last week. They had 5 sacks, 10 quarterback hits. They held the Colts to 259 yards of total offense. That was their best output as a defense in terms of fewest yards allowed since 2020. So they're looking really good to start the season. They're facing Tom Brady here. We all know Tom Brady, the greatest of all time. But this offense for the Bucs has struggled at times this season. They're averaging just 17 points per game. What's gone wrong for the Bucs offense this year, and how can the Chiefs slow them down on Sunday night?
Well, obviously they've had some injuries and some of their key pieces that haven't been there, at different times this year. So that plays a part. The other thing is just nothing looks easy for the Bucs this year. It's not coming where guys are by design becoming wide open. Tom Brady, at times when things are a little tougher or he seems a little bit out of sorts as he's working through some of these things with these new receivers. It's just been a struggle to put things together, and they haven't really had an offensive game yet where it just seemed like, oh, this is how they operate. This is how Tom Brady operates. When guys are open and things play out like you want them to, Tom's still going to make the throw, but everything has been a little bit tighter. It hasn't been as clear. They've had to make some of these extra special plays as opposed to, oh, geez, this guy's wide open, that guy's wide open, this guy's winning his one-on-one, that guy's winning his one-on-one. Now they're having to work for it a little bit. And it doesn't matter who you are and how good you are as a quarterback. When you've got to take 10 and 12 play drives, as opposed to getting those big plays, as you guys know very well with the Chiefs, they've had to be a little bit more efficient, not as many big plays without Tyreek. It's harder to play football, and it's harder to score 35 points a game. And so that, to me, is what's wrong with the Bucs, is that, they'll make a number of plays, but then If you get set back and you're not able to make those difference-making plays in the course of a game, you're having what they're having, 19 points, 12 points. They're just not having these big outbursts because they're not having those game-changing plays that we're used to with Tom Brady and this Bucs offense.
Yeah, I think you're so right. If you look at the Bucs last week, they had 2 drives that were kind of moving, but then fumbles ended those drives and ultimately helped lead to a loss. So hopefully, from a Chiefs perspective, they can create some turnovers on Sunday night, get that pass rush after Tom Brady, hopefully sack him, and the Chiefs can get back on track with a victory. He's Kurt Warner. Catch him on NFL Game Day Kickoff on NFL Network at 6 a.m. Central Time to get ready for some early morning football as the Vikings take on the Saints in London. It'll be a long day of football on Sunday, ending with the Chiefs game, of course, and Kurt will help get you ready for all of it. Kurt, awesome stuff, man. Really appreciate your time.
You got it. Thanks a lot.